What's up guys, LQ here with the LQ Review. Thank you so much for joining me here at my YouTube channel. This is where we talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff that we love to talk about. Movies, video games, comic books, and TV shows. And right now I'm going to talk about That 90s Show Part 3. When I reviewed That 90s Show Parts 1 and 2, I made it very clear I was a big fan of That 70s Show when it was out. My wife and I, we've watched every episode multiple times. So when That 90s Show came out, obviously I was excited because it's a continuation of that story. Season 1, or Part 1, had a lot of cameos from main cast members. You had Topher Grace in there. You had Laura Prepon, Donna. Jackie, Kelso. You had... and even Fez. You had the main players who aren't in jail. You had the main players all make cameo appearances. And those cameos have since subsided in favor of telling the story of our new gang who's hanging out in the foreman's basement. And that's okay. That's okay. Would I have rather it been something like Cobra Kai, where we have the two... both the older group and the younger group as main characters? Probably, yeah. I would have rather had that, just because I do have such an attachment to the characters from that 70s show. But these characters, these young ones, are fun to watch. Leia and Jay are definitely my two favorites. I love the idea of Donna and Eric's kid ending up with Kelso and Jackie's kid. I think that's great. So this season, Part 3, has been my favorite so far, and that's because for whatever reason I feel like this one felt the most like that 70s show. Very episodic in nature, but also telling a story, telling a coming of age story for these kids that resonates, that feels authentic. Now, it's not always going to feel authentic. It is a sitcom that's going to have some sitcom isms in them, but for the most part, this felt pretty authentic. As a child I was in high school in the 90s. I could definitely relate to some of the things that they were saying and doing, and the music and stuff like that. So maybe it's a little nostalgia for my part, but it felt rather authentic to me. Donna has a bigger part in Part 3 than she did in Part 2. None of the other main cast shows up in Part 3. You do get cameos from other characters. The guy that worked for Red, what was his name? Oh my gosh, the guy that Red fired, and then Red later got him fired while he was working at a restaurant. I forget the guy's name. He shows back up here though, and he was really funny, and it was cool to see him back. Seth Green shows up again. Kevin Smith shows up again. Jason Mewes. So there is some funny cameos that aren't just there to be cameos, but some of these cameos really have a big impact on the overall story that they're telling in this season. So it ends on a satisfying note, where if this is the end of That 90s Show, it wrapped everything up nicely, but it also leaves it open to continue, and I hope it does continue. I hope it does continue, because I think there are also some things that I want to see resolved. There's something going on with Eric and Donna. Eric's not in it, they hear from him on the telephone. But there's some things going on with Eric and Donna that I think need to be resolved. And there's some things going on with where some people are living that I think needs to get resolved. So I would like to see it continue into a Part 4, because I think there's more story here to tell. But I really enjoyed it. It was my favorite of the three seasons or parts so far. So that's my take on That 90s Show Part 3. What did you think of it? Let me know in the comments below. While you're down there commenting, subscribe to my channel. And until next time, we'll see you guys later.